the sad ones. 9:24, Tuesday, December. Yes, that's right. It's December 3rd. I want to just before we bring on our next guest, Amy. I wanted to share this message that she had sent me on our social media, and really just man. Hi, Chris. I know I'm probably one of many to contact you for help, but I need advice. My oldest daughter is a rape victim, and our judicial system is so ridiculous. The rapist is going to be released Friday to a third party. That part I understand, I guess. What I'm not understanding is this is now our third prosecutor to handle my daughter's case. Trial will begin this month, and we haven't even met this new prosecutor that will be representing us. How will we get justice like this, Chris? The rapist defense attorney hasn't changed. He's the rapist, and he has more stability than the victims. You can't physically see the AG of Guam, and everyone else is busy. So how do I go about getting justice for my daughters? And of course, I was like, let's get on the link and share this story. So I want to bring Amy on here via Zoom. Good morning, Amy.
Morning. Morning, Chris. Good morning, Sabrina.
Hi.
This just, man, when I read this, I was all kinds of angry. And, I just, before we go any further, I did reach out to the Attorney General's office and ask if someone could come on to maybe address some of your concerns. However, we were told that no one would be able to come on. And then they were asking me for like the case number and yada, yada. And, I've had it before where I schedule guests and then I reach out to the whatever other side of the story there is. And then they'll turn around and call. And I'm not saying intimidate people, but, whatever happens behind the scenes. So I wasn't comfortable giving out your information because I feel like, how hard is it to figure out which case we're talking about here? So, Amy, just let's just start at the beginning. What was the initial reaction? I mean, it's just terrible. I'm familiar with your daughter's case. It was, I believe it was in the news, but just take us back to the beginning, if you could.
So pretty much we found out beginning of this year. So two of my daughters are the victims. My oldest is the rape victim. And my second daughter was, I guess, threatened with a weapon. Sorry. But as a mom, my daughters were very frightened and intimidated to speak up. They didn't want to go to the police station, and they just wanted it to go away on their own. There was consistent checking up on from the attacker. And so they're very scared for my life, their father's life, their family and themselves, of course. But I wanted my daughters to speak up, have a voice. Enough is enough. It really is. And so, we convinced our daughters to speak up. We took them to GPD. GPD was very helpful. I was very surprised because they found him in a matter of a few days after us going in. So I was very happy about that. Then, of course, the court process started. We met our AG advocate. She is amazing. She tries to keep very good communication with me. And then we had met our first prosecuting attorney. And I'm sorry, Chris, but I'm really not going to mention names. But in general, you guys, we're moving on. So now it's been almost a year that he's been in jail. I was just informed a couple days ago that he is going to be released this Friday to a third party. I can understand that because COVID and the outbreak in DOC and whatnot, but then that also has me question, did we not foresee this just in case there was a COVID outbreak in DOC? Why weren't there any other protocols to prevent first-degree sexual conduct attackers to be released? Like, I just have so many questions, you guys, and I don't know who I can go to for help. I have sat in the lobby of the AG's office and I have left my name, my telephone number. I have called. You are not allowed to see the AG. You are not allowed to see the prosecuting attorneys. Um, I don't know, guys. I've met 3 different prosecuting attorneys for my daughters. Uh, we're about to start trial this month, and we're getting a new one. I haven't even met her yet. Uh, I really don't understand. The AG advocate explained to me that the reason that the prosecuting attorneys are changing is because of the switching of courtrooms. I don't know about you guys, but me having 2 minor daughters that are victims, how do I explain this to them? Oh, I'm sorry, girls. Because they keep switching courtrooms, your guys' attorney will keep changing. We're about to start trial. What if this uh, the new prosecuting attorney that will be representing my daughters, what if she gets switched in the middle of trial? And then do we still, oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, can we get a continuance because I need to be caught up to date with this? Honestly, I feel for the prosecuting attorneys, and I also feel for victims. Like, is it just my daughter's cases
It's
that
not. No.
are that it's ending up like this? I mean, have other people gone through the same thing that I'm going through? Because it is very frustrating. My oldest daughter, the rape victim, she feels that she's not going to get her justice. She honestly told me not too long ago that she she's going to lose her case, and that hurts. As a mom person, Sabrina, how am I supposed to reassure my daughters? Where is our justice? The rapist defense attorney has not changed, public defender or not. His defense attorney is still the same. I just don't understand, being the victims, why do we have so much inconsistency? Chris, I have called. No offense, I'm not surprised that nobody could get on to help, because I have so many questions, I have so many concerns, and nobody can answer my questions. And I don't know who to turn to.
So you weren't even given an opportunity to some to oppose his release?
No.
Nothing.
He has been, Sabrina, trying to be released prior to COVID. And actually, if I can share with you, one of his one of his release hearings, and this was somebody new. He didn't represent us, but he was sitting for the plaintiff. The defense, I guess, motioned a third party, and I got to go to court. This was prior to COVID. So I was sitting in the courtroom, and the plaintiff side, the prosecuting side, had nothing to say. Do you guys have any objections to him being released? And the gentleman that was sitting there had no objections whatsoever. So I went, after court was done, I went to ITC. I spoke to my daughter's AG advocate, and she wasn't there, unfortunately. So I took myself up to the AG's office on the 8th floor, 8th or 9th floor, I'm sorry. And then I waited there, and the receptionist there told me I'm not allowed to see anybody, and if I have any answers, I can only go through my AG advocate. I explained that she wasn't available at the time, and nobody got back to me regarding that.
Yeah.
So he's been trying to get released, Sabrina, and I guess now he has a third party that is vouching for him, and if I'm not mistaken, he may possibly be on ankle monitoring.
When is the last time you talked with your third AG or prosecutor? You've never talked to this person at all to discuss your daughter's case?
No. And our court date is tomorrow, guys. His release and the trial appointment is tomorrow via Zoom.
When were you assigned your second, or when were you assigned this third prosecutor?
Just ending of last week, ending of last week.
Did you ever talk to the second prosecutor?
Yes. I will give you that name. That was Lenny Rapadas. And I will be honest, out of everybody that I have dealt with, Lenny, before our trial dates via Zoom, he would contact me and he would catch me up to speed. So I knew exactly what was going to happen, what was going to be said or discussed. But I lost him.
Did you feel any sort of confidence, Amy, when you got Lenny? Lenny's an old, I mean, he's very
He's a former
experienced.
AG.
Right, yeah. So,
Honestly, yes, Chris, I really did. He handled the majority of this case. With plea agreements and back and forth court hearings. And I honestly felt that when we did meet with him face to face at the AG Advocate office with my daughters, he wanted to meet my daughters and get their emotions and their side of everything. He got to know my daughters, Chris and Sabrina. He made that time, and I really appreciated that. And he did tell me nothing is a slam dunk case, but I will do my best. And yeah, I was a bit sad that I did lose Lenny due to the switching of the courtrooms. But again, you guys, like, where would I get my answers that I need? Like, I feel for these prosecuting attorneys, like, do their cases get switched like this all the time? I mean, I know there's a lot of things happening on our island. I understand it, like, their workload must be incredible, but how do I, as a mother, assure my daughters justice? What if my daughters, we don't know what's going to happen, and they're scared he's going to be released. And even at a third party, like, Chris, is there another entrant in the courthouse? Because we will be in trial. We will be going to court. Is there another entrance for him to not intimidate my daughter, to not get that opportunity to see my daughters and to stare them down or whatever it is? Send a family member, because I don't know the family members. I don't know who to look out for and who not to look out for. I don't know. If he goes to the doctor, what if my daughters go to the same doctor? I mean, what are the guidelines? I don't know anything, you guys. I'm in the dark.
And your AG advocate hasn't explained any of that to you?
No.
Wow.
and I just want to say that we're talking about the rape of a 13-year-old girl here. We're talking about a minor who was threatened with a weapon. And to hear that you can't even get a freaking answer out of this attorney general's office.
So the alleged crime occurred in October, November of last year. He was officially charged in January of this year. And now we're going to trial starting tomorrow with no conversation whatsoever with the third prosecutor you've been assigned.
No.
Amy, when we had a similar, I mean, there's nothing, it was another victim, a couple victims who come on a few months back. I mean, totally different situation. Their house people threw bricks into their house basically and threatened to kill them. And they were released from DOC because of the COVID excuse. And so I remember when we got the AG on, he actually had the nerve to go with this, you guys don't know what it's like to be a lawyer argument, which just pissed me off. So what would you say? Because I can just hear the AG now saying, oh, well, they don't know why we switch prosecutors. Oh, they don't understand what it's like. What would your message be to and I mean, it's unfortunate he's not here to address this, but what would your message be to the Attorney General saying that, oh, you don't understand the legal process, so you shouldn't be speaking on it?
Okay. No, I am not an attorney. No, I am not. I don't have a law degree. But at the same time, Mr. Camacho or whoever is listening to this or does see this, I am a mother of 2 minor daughters and all the other victims out there in the world, not just Guam. Imagine how we feel. Imagine, what do we tell our kids that want justice? Put yourself in our shoes. You're switching courtrooms. Okay, why? Is that not harder on your prosecuting attorneys to jump from case to case to case? Am I being handed off because nobody wants to try my daughter's case? I can't understand that. And yes, I know which story you're speaking about, Chris, and I'm sorry, but that did upset me. We all have our own opinions, but we're the victim, Chris. Sabrina, who's looking out for us?
We are.
And that's why I reached out to you guys. Where do we get our answers? How do I assure my daughter? She honestly, she doesn't think she's gonna win. And she said, oh, Mom, see, we did all of that for nothing. What, Mr. Camacho, are you gonna tell my 13-year-old daughter? What do you have to say to my daughters and all the other victims out there that are being treated this way? We're being passed off like a hot potato. And I don't understand why, because we deserve to be heard. My daughter wants her time in court to say what she needs to say.
I just got a message.
Send Carlina the Zoom link, please. The Attorney General is going to come on, Amy, if you're willing to have him come on and maybe address some of your concerns.
Yes.
So just give us a little bit here. Actually, we'll just take a quick break. Guys, we're coming back with the Attorney General leaving Camacho right here on the link, on the breeze.